What is up, y'all? Welcome back. And if you've been around the channel for a while, you know we've covered some pretty crazy people doing some pretty crazy things. But I honestly think that the subject of today's video, Miss Annie Knight, who claims she slept with 300 people this past year, that's right, you heard that correctly, 300 people, might be the most shameless, delusional, and definitely most noteworthy of them all. Let's get into it. So first and foremost, before we do get into the story, I just want to say that 900 bodies is insane, because obviously it's not 300. If you're a fan of the channel, you know that we go by the J. Cole rule around here. So you take the number she gives you, 300, and multiply it by 3. That's 900 bodies. That's absolutely crazy. And look, guys, I don't make the rules, alright? But anyway, an article I found on the topic starts by saying an Australian woman who says she had sex with more than 300 people in 1 year found the experience, quote, empowering. Annie Knight, 26, told the Kyle and Jackie O show that she even managed to bed 5 people in a single day during the frisky, fun-filled year. I felt empowered afterward. The amorous Aussie declared, "Sex makes me feel good. It's meant to make you feel good." Knight sleeps with men and women and told the radio program that she met many of her sex partners on dating apps. However, she also has a roster of regulars on speed dial that she calls up whenever she feels like getting down and dirty. The messier the sex, the better, she enthused. God, you know that dad, wherever he may be, is crying. This dude's sobbing somewhere. But anyway, Knight, who has been dubbed Australia's most sexually active woman, added that nothing is off limits when it comes to experimenting in the bedroom, saying, "I'm down to try anything." However, not everyone is impressed by Knight's unashamed enthusiasm for sex, with one hater describing her as, quote, disgusting. So this is all pretty wild. Like I said, the dad is probably in shambles right now, and, you know, honestly, I feel for you, bro. If you need to talk, you know, you can hit the DMs for sure. But side note here, before we really get into it, I just want to say as well that where I'm from, the US, we get a pretty bad rap for demonstrating pretty degenerate behavior. I mean, rightfully so. We are degenerates over here. I'm not going to try and dispute that. But it always seems like these really wild stories that get a lot of traction come from overseas, like Australia in this case. So, like, guys, what are you Aussies doing over there? Like, come on, guys. But I love how she says that sleeping with 300 people is empowering. Yes, nothing quite screams empowering quite like being 300 people's plaything. I'm sure emotionally you feel real good afterwards. Like, I'm genuinely curious. Does she genuinely believe that? Like, seriously, do you believe that? I feel like she possibly can't think that, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's kind of a hard, sad reality, you know? Like, these people are literally just sleeping with you because they think you're hot. They don't see any other value in you. Like, these people clearly don't love you, right? Because I'm gonna be honest, anyone that's trying to settle down with someone, you aren't exactly a first round #1 draft pick if you're sleeping with so many other people. Like, at the end of the day, guys really do want a girl that's gonna be loyal, someone that's gonna stay true to them. I mean, me personally, like, again, you know, nothing wrong with wanting to, you know, sleep around, do your thing, like, that's your prerogative. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like you gotta feel pretty terrible knowing that none of these people that you sleep with truly have, like, real, genuine feelings for you. I think that's really sad. I don't know, just my personal opinion. I don't feel like she personally believes that, if I'm keeping it a buck. But let's say that this story is true, you know, that's nearly one sexual encounter a day. And keep in mind that for the most part, these are complete randos, right? Like, all joking aside, how do you know that many people? How do you schedule that all out? Like, this is true dedication to your shaft. Excuse me, craft. A little Freudian slip there. But, like, goddamn, I get she's hot as fuck, so it can't be too hard. But that just sounds like too much work, if I'm keeping it a buck. No amount of pussy is gonna have me stressing that much. She doing too much for real. Like, that pussy could be made out of gold, as Post Malone once said, and I still ain't going to such extreme lengths. That's just too much work. I want to touch on one of her comments though. So she said, sex makes me feel good. It's meant to make you feel good. Yeah, I suppose that's true, but the word you said specifically is empowering. So I got to go back to that, Does it make you feel good? Yeah, probably temporarily in a physical sense, but in an emotional sense, like empowerment, absolutely not. You can't convince me otherwise. Like I said before, I ain't buying it. Sex is better when you know the person, you know their body. Like, maybe I'm a boomer, maybe I'm old school, hell, maybe you could go as far to say I'm a pussy. Which, if that's the case, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your insights. But I don't know, man. I feel like there comes a point where you just feel awful. Like think about it like this way. This is aimed for all the fellas out there. You ever bagged a chick before, thinking you're king frat, you're a real certified puller, and then the post-nut clarity hits and you're like, damn, I really just did that? Or, that was questionable at best. Or, what have I done? What have I done? Like, we've all bagged a chick we regret. Don't lie. It's about time that we, as a male species, stay transparent with one another. No way you feeling good after that, let alone 300 bodies. And, we're all human beings, girls' brains are wired differently than men, but I feel like that's a pretty universal dynamic there, or feeling. I think everybody shares that same kind of thing to a certain extent, right? Like, you can't tell me that every single person you've slept with is him, or every person you've slept with is her, right? Like, I'm sure there's definitely times, like where Billy goes in there, thinking he's a champ, he's gonna slay, and then he's in and out in about 7 seconds, and you're just sitting there thinking, damn, that kind of sucked. There's no way you feel empowered in that moment. Like, yeah, if you're somehow watching this by the grace of God, tell me how empowered you feel in that moment. Yeah, I don't think you do feel too empowered in that moment. And I'm gonna be honest, I just think that using the word empowered to describe that in the first place is pretty crazy, which to me just kind of begs the question. It's like, all right, what's the real motive here? There's got to be some sort of ulterior motive here. Clearly you're not just fucking anybody that moves just because it's empowering, right? There's got to be some other reason. There we go. That's more like it. So before reading that, I was like, there's got to be a true reason, aside from that corny imaginary facade, talking about how it's, quote, empowering and whatnot. This makes way more sense. So the reason it's empowering is because pathetic losers are forking over money hand over fist. So honestly, why wouldn't she cash out on these sad men, and why wouldn't it be empowering? The article goes on to basically explain that she was so scared and upset about losing her job as a result of this. And a little side note here, I know I clown on OnlyFans girls from time to time on here, but why are they always losing their jobs over it? Like, how does it get out? Either they leak it themselves intentionally to get attention, or they got rats and they circle. Like, come on, don't be that guy, don't be a snitch. I kind of feel that it could be people that are jealous, leaking it or whatnot, finding it and bringing it to their employer's attention. Or honestly, it could also be them exposing it and leaking it themselves, right? I mean, we've seen a handful of really weird marketing schemes from these OnlyFans girls from time to time. So, I mean, that's definitely possible. I'm not saying it's like 100% what happened, but it very well could be. It's not out of the question for sure, but take a look at this. I don't think she's too mad that she lost her job over this, because the article concludes by saying, however, Knight isn't looking back and says she now earns around $1,000 a day with her risque content, which fans pay a monthly subscription to view. Yeah, bitch, you ain't mad. You lost your job. But pretty much that's the video, guys. I appreciate y'all watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, rating, subscribe to the channel for more commentaries just like this. Leave a thought down below. I would absolutely love to hear what y'all have to say about this. And until next time, guys, this is Runter, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.